Yu Yongding, hello. How can China reduce inequalities which globalization may have emphasized?
I think inequality in China is mainly a domestic issue. So the government is trying to introduce lots of policies to reduce this kind of equality. For example, the Chinese government will help those remote provinces by public transfer, so give them financial support and so on and so forth. And also there are lots of indirect incentive provided to private sector, so that those sectors can go to hinterland to help the development of economy. Of course, globalization will have some impact on China's domestic equality. For example, rich people may have certain advantage if there's no regulation and so on and so forth. But at this moment, I think the most concern is still domestic. China should not blame globalization for the inequality within China.
In China, the growth is still high, but it's been spending down because the economy depends too much on demand, global demand. Are you not too worried about this?
Actually, I think China's growth has entered into a new stage. That is low growth. I agree with Madame Lagarde that in the next few decades, China's growth rate will slow, maybe within the range of 7 to 7.5% per annum. Even though this is low growth rate, but it's still very admirable, quite good. And I think the main reason is that in the past, China's growth is driven by two factors. One is export, another is investment. After 10 years' efforts, China's external imbalances have been reduced. China's trade surplus is not that big. China is not, over the past few years, China's growth is not dependent on export. The contribution of net exports to China's growth actually is negative. So at this moment, China needs to slow the growth rate of fixed assets investment, which has been consistently higher than growth rate of GDP, which now is, the investment rate is approaching 50%. That's too high. It causes lower efficiency and so on and so forth. So now China is trying to slow down this growth rate of fixed asset investment. At the same time, try to improve the structure of investment. I think China still have some space for investment in infrastructure. And also China is willing to invest abroad. As I just mentioned, China is really willing to invest in European countries and so on, because China has a very high saving rate. You can't use policy to solve this problem in a very short period of time. If there's still excess saving, then what can we do? Perhaps one channel is allow FDI flow outbound FDI to European countries and to France, and also, of course, to African countries and so forth.
And the G8 claims for China to merge into floating exchange rates. Do you agree with it?
Actually, I have been arguing for a more flexible exchange rate for 10 years something. And I think at this stage, China really can allow RMB to flow, even though this is not a mainstream idea. But personally, I think to allow RMB to flow will reduce the necessity to accumulate foreign exchange reserves. And we have accumulated too much foreign exchange reserves. China has fallen into so-called dollar trap. It causes huge national welfare losses. So China should stop this. How to stop? A solution very simple. You stop intervention, stop buying dollars from foreign exchange market to solve the problem. People worry that if you allow RMB to flow, there could be a very significant appreciation of RMB, which will have a negative impact on China's growth. But personally, I don't think that will be the case, because as I just mentioned, China's external imbalances have been improved, not that big. So even you allow RMB to appreciate without any intervention, the appreciation will not really very dramatic. And also Chinese government, People's Bank of China, should retain the right to intervene if there's overshooting in exchange rate. So basically, I agree that China should speed up the process to allow RMB to flow.
Yu Yongding, I thank you.
You're welcome.